In the fitness business, there's a lot of talk about tough clients. You know the ones I mean. They make coaches want to tear at their clothes like the Hulk and yell, "Why don't you do what I tell you to do? Don't you know what's good for you?" Coaches, if you've never had one of those clients, well, I don't want to talk to you. Because I have. In fact, it's the struggle that triggered a major crisis for me early in my coaching career. Let me paint the picture for you. I was a young personal trainer fresh out of school. After packing up my dad's minivan with all my earthly possessions, I headed to South Beach, Miami to start the hustle. Now, South Beach was a pretty awesome scene to start a fitness business back then. Everyone wanted to look ripped so they could turn heads as they cruised down Ocean Drive on their rollerblades. For a young trainer like me, this was heaven. Pretty much right away, I had tons of clients, including A-listers. One dude even flew me down to Brazil regularly to work with him and his wife. I was living the dream, making tons of cash. And I thought I was the man. So there I was, thinking I was the shit. But every once in a while, something would nag at me. You see, there were a few clients that I just couldn't seem to make progress with. Actually, when I looked at my stats, I noticed that about half of my roster was getting crap results. Those clients weren't happy and neither was I. As I tried to reconcile these numbers, I went through a few awkward growing stages. During the first stage, I was kind of self-righteous. I thought, well, I'm awesome, so there must be something wrong with my clients. This is a popular attitude in the fitness industry. In fact, a lot of people who call themselves experts will tell you to fire tough clients like this, that the problem has to be the client, not their program or their coaching. Still, the problem kind of ate at me. I moved into a second stage and started to question myself. If I'm so awesome, why are only half of my clients getting great results? Was I, maybe, partly responsible for the poor results that half of my clients were getting? Painfully, I entered a third stage. The "oh crap, it's me" stage. The rethink everything stage. This stage felt like a bad hangover, but it made me realize that I needed to change. I figured maybe I just need to learn more stuff and then I can help these clients. So I went back to school to learn more stuff. I did a master's, then I did a PhD. I did internships, I worked in fancy research labs. Years later, I was ready to apply every nerderific thing I'd learned to get 100% amazing results every time. Guess what? Despite all my cutting-edge, in-depth knowledge, my clients were still getting tripped up on the simple stuff, showing up for workouts exhausted and unmotivated, brunching themselves to death every weekend. I was pretty sad. Nope, let's be honest. I was pissed. Do you know how much time and money it takes to get a master's and a PhD? So I did a lot of thinking. Cue the cheesy soul-searching montage scenes. The light bulb moment came when I realized that what was preventing my clients from getting results wasn't their postural alignment during a squat or whether their macronutrient ratio was just so. It was that change. Any change is hard. People don't know how to change, period. So I tried a different approach. I dove into the psychology of change. And from there, I learned that I was making a lot of mistakes in the way that I talked to, aka coached, my clients. If you're watching or listening to this right now, you're probably making a few of the same mistakes too. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to help you figure out a new path. So, how do you talk to clients to help them make transformative change? Well, it's a little more complicated than I can cover in a short video, but here are a few tips for getting started. First, coach the elephant, not the rider. Wait, what? Well, you see, when coaching, you can actually speak to one of two different brain systems, the rational brain or the emotional brain. Here's a nice way to visualize it. Think of someone riding an elephant along a path. The rider, that's your rational brain, the part that likes facts and logic. The elephant, that's your emotional brain, the part that likes to feel cared for, understood, and most of all, safe. Most coaches focus their energy on the rider, trying to reason with clients. But that rarely works because it's really that big ol' elephant that's in charge most of the time. Sure, when the elephant is happy and comfortable, it lets the rider lead. But when the elephant feels scared or uncertain, the rider loses control and the elephant does what it wants. Which is why it's so critical for every coaching strategy to recognize the role that the elephant, the emotional brain, plays in a client's decision making, and to start by coaching that emotional brain. Once it feels safe and secure, once it feels trust and comfort, that's when you can work on the rider, the rational brain. Doing things in reverse rarely works. Next, introduce one new habit at a time. Lots of clients go into change with an overhaul mindset. They want to change everything about how they eat and move all at once because they think that's the fastest way to get the body they want. Not so fast. You see, the more you try to change at once, the harder it gets to stick to the plan. People get overwhelmed, drop all the balls, and then feel like a total failure. Even though it might seem counterintuitive, implementing small but strategic habits one at a time is much more effective. Yes, physical changes may be a little slower to emerge at first, although often they're not, but the transformation is more likely to be deep, real, and sustained. As the client builds confidence, their smaller habits stack one on top of another until they've accomplished their goals. The best part? The big changes they experience will feel easy. And that's the holy grail of transformative change. Easy plus effective. Next, make conversations a two-way street. Do you ever have those sessions where you're like, come on, I need you to do this. And the client's like, I don't want to. So then you're like, come on, I need you to do this. And they cross their arms and they're like, nope. Everyone is gritting their teeth and forehead veins are bulging. Sadly, standoffs aren't too unusual in the fitness business. Coaches sit down with their clients and show them what they're doing wrong and then plead with them to improve their diet, exercise, sleep patterns, and more. Ironically, trying to convince them can actually make them less likely to do it. Think about it. What do you do when someone tells you what you're doing is wrong? You defend. You feel misunderstood. You build up your arguments in order to justify your behavior. Here's the point. As your clients argue against change, they actually deepen their reasons for not changing. In order to avoid this headbutting, approach all client sessions with a spirit of collaboration. Spend more time listening and ask clients for their input. Of course, it's your job as a coach to offer guidance, but the more the client feels a sense of choice and control, the better your coaching relationship will be and the better results you'll get. Finally, take responsibility for what you tell clients and for what they do with it. Many coaches, when clients don't follow their advice, shrug and think, well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. That's the wrong attitude. The best coaches in the world realize that not only is it their job to know the right information, it's also their job to do everything in their power to help clients put it into practice in their lives. As one of our precision nutrition super coaches once taught me, no, you can't make that horse drink, but you can make them very, very thirsty. And that's your job, giving good advice and making your clients want to follow it. Commit to both parts, not just the first, and your coaching career will take off. In the end, if you, like me, have ever been frustrated with client results or lack thereof, or if you've ever blamed your clients for being weak, lazy, or unmotivated, it might not just be your client's fault. You may be missing a few essential skills that'll turn your coaching around, like I was early in my career. The good news is that these skills can be learned. You can learn them. To everyone else, you'll be the client whisperer. To yourself, you'll become the kind of coach you've always dreamed of being. So remember, first, coach the elephant, not the rider. Next, introduce one new habit at a time. Next, make conversations a two-way street. And finally, take responsibility for what you tell clients and for what they do with it. Thanks for watching and listening today. Just so you know, Precision Nutrition is the home of the world's top nutrition coaches. We've been coaching clients and certifying professionals since 2005, and you can learn more at www.precisionnutrition.com.